Good morning, students. Today we are going to study a play. The name of the play is A Sunny Morning. In the background, you can see a park with benches, with green grass, with grown up trees, with a tender sunshine entering the park. And this is a very nice place. A place to go for a walk in the morning, to enjoy the sun, to enjoy the cool breeze, to go for a walking, to go for a jog, and just to relax. You can go there, relax your mind, or prepare yourself for the coming day. It's a very nice site, very nice cool climate. So our story is set in such a climate, such a beautiful place. You can see the benches there where people can sit. If the people don't like the sunshine, they can sit in the cool shadow, the shade. If they like the grass, they can sit on the grass. If they like the trees, they can sit under the trees. And it's a very pleasant place. That's what I want to say. And each one of us has enjoyed this sight or such a situation. Today, in our study, we study about two people, their behavior, their thinking, and their talking. Who are they? There are two people, both aged about 70 years. Both these people, both these old people, they were regular visitors to the park. That we can make out by the text, by reading the text. Both were regular visitors to the park. The name of the lady was Donna Laura. She was called Donna Laura. Donna is lady in Spanish. Donna and Don. These things are misunderstood today. A Don is somebody who creates some problem or gets into some criminal activity. But actually, the word Don means gentleman, a great man. So here the lady Donna Laura was accompanied by her maid. The maid was 20 years old. Her name is Petra. She's just 20, a young maid. Every day they brought breadcrumbs to feed the pigeons, with whom Laura spoke as if they were children. When you read, you come to know all these things. She talks to the pigeons just like children. You a mischievous one, you a busy one. No, she talks to them like pets, like children. She feeds them regularly with breadcrumbs. So it is her pastime, a hobby, which she indulges into every day, every morning, and she enjoys it. And every morning she comes to this park. Now the author speaks about another visitor. He is also a regular visitor. We come to know this fact because he tries to find place in his regular seat. Every day he sits one seat and he likes that seat. And every day he uses that seat, that bench. Today he can't find it vacant. Now he's angry. He has no right to be angry because it's a public park. But somehow he thinks that being a regular visitor has got a right to sit in the same place. And he's cross with the people who are sitting there. There were three priests sitting there. He says they don't have any business here. They should be saying Mass. They should be in the church. Why they are here? Seeing his master angry, the servant, his servant, Ioannito. See, in some of the European languages, J is not pronounced, and we can call him Ioannito. Ioannito, the servant, tries to find a place for his master. He goes around, he tries to find a place, and he cannot find a vacant bench. He cannot find a vacant bench. There is at least one person on some benches, at least one. So you have to adjust and you have to sit on the other side. But our hero, Don Gonzalo, being of aristocratic mannered behavior, he doesn't like to share his bench with anyone else. He wants a bench for himself. And that is impossible this morning. So Ioannito finds a place on Donna Laura's bench. She is sitting alone. Of course, there is a place there where his master, Ioannito's master, can sit. At last, not finding any place anywhere in the park, Don Gonzalo agrees to sit beside Donna Laura. Having observed him for a long time, his problem in finding an empty seat, his anger at not finding one, she is amused and she talks to him in a very light manner, humorous manner. She makes fun of him. She taunts him. He doesn't like that. She says, "This is a public park. You can't complain. Why you're complaining against the priest? Somehow you adjust and sit." He gets angry. It's none of your business. So they have a conversation which shows that he is not pleased with her. Neither is she. She also doesn't like his arrogant behavior, his rude behavior. Then he sits on the bench and he doesn't want to be disturbed and he doesn't want to talk also. He's a reserved person. He takes out a book. He wants to read now. He wants everything to be quiet. And then he takes out his glasses, reading glasses, his spectacles. And this Laura, being humorous, she can't keep quiet. She says, "Oh, these are reading glasses. I thought they were telescopes," because they had thick glasses. It infuriates him, it makes him angry. Then, while talking, she says, "I did not know you are so old, having visited America long back. Maybe you went to America with Columbus. Columbus was the person who discovered America." She said, "Maybe you went with him because you are so old." All this humorous talk was there, which he didn't like, and this lady did not like the person. She did not like Don Gonzalo. That's why she never lost an opportunity to taunt him. They were very serious. She was very funny. She wanted to talk, but he didn't want. Then, in the course of their being there, he took out snuff. He had a habit of taking snuff. Now, many of you may not know what snuff is, but some of you have seen your grandfathers, grandmothers taking snuff. Snuff is powdered tobacco, which many people use to lighten their heads. When you feel your head is heavy, you take snuff. Many people have that habit. And they sneeze. When you sneeze, they feel their head is light. They feel some relief. Gonzalo had that habit, and out of courtesy, he offered a little snuff to this lady who was sharing his bench. Actually, he was sharing her bench. She took it. She said, "It's good." Both of them sneezed. And at this point, the mood lightened. Earlier, they did not like each other. But now, since they shared a pinch of snuff, they started talking. And usually what happens is when you're aloof, when you don't talk, when you're silent, you can't handle a situation. When two people talk, slowly many problems are solved. The mood is elevated, it is lightened. Then you can talk well and you can find out things. And the atmosphere is happier. This is what the author wants to say. So now this action of sharing the snuff cleared the mood between them. They started talking in Shantru about the places they had been, about their hobbies, from where they were. So they started talking. And he mentioned Valencia. She said, "Are you from that place?" He said, "Yes, I'm from Valencia." He said, "I too am from there." So now it is established that both of them were from a place called Valencia near Madrid in Spain. So you can say they were neighbors, maybe. Then she mentioned a house called Maricela. She said, "Do you know a place called Maricela?" He said, "Yes, definitely. And I know about a girl who stayed there, who lived there." She said, "Yes, I too know about that girl." Now, friends, students, the girl who lived in Maricela was Laura herself. But she did not say that. She did not reveal it to Gonzalo. She said that girl was very beautiful and she was called the Silver Maiden because of her beauty. Silver Maiden. He did not recognize her anyway, and he said, "Yeah, I know about that girl, was called the Silver Maiden, and her beauty was so much." No, he said she was like a dream. She said, "How do you know?" He said, "I had a cousin, and that cousin loved her, and he told me." Now, this was the actual lover, Gonzalo, but he did not say it. He said it was his cousin. Now, in many places, many times when you go there to some shops or some medical shops, you want to buy something, you say, "My neighbor has sent me." You just put the blame or show another person. "My friend, my neighbor has told me to get this." That's a usual practice. So this man said, "It was my cousin who was the lover, who loved that girl. He told me many things about the girl." She said, "Oh, I don't know the girl, and that girl was my friend." She too lied. Though she was the girl herself and he was the lover himself, both hid the identity and they just said, "Yes, we know." He said, "My cousin told me," and she said, "My friend told me." So, in this way, they started telling lies to each other. Laura Lorente, he said, there was a girl called Laura Lorente there. Of course, it was her name before marriage, maybe, when she was young. And she also acknowledged, yes. And she said, "I know the girl." And she was called the Silver Maiden. Please remember this name, the Silver Maiden, the Silver Girl. So they discussed about the sad love affair of that girl. He said, "I heard about this sad love affair from the girl from the lover himself." And he said, "My cousin was the lover." And she said, "Yes, she was my friend. I heard about that from my friend." So they began discussing about that. They agreed on certain things. They remembered that the girl was beautiful. You can see the girl there. She's so eager and young, And you can see that she is in love. She is holding a bunch of red roses and she is waiting at the window. She is waiting at a window. This fact Laura mentioned first. She said, yes, she stood in the window waiting for her lover to pass by her window. Gonzalo also said, yes, my cousin told me about that. And when the lover passed, when the lover passed, he threw flowers. He tossed the flowers and she caught them. She caught the flowers. And in the evening, on his way back, he rode a horse. Her lover, that girl from Maricela, the silver maiden, loved that man. And that man, the lover, on his way back, he tossed flowers, which she caught. Oh, sorry. She tossed flowers and he caught the flowers. So this was the daily routine of the lovers. See the beautiful explanation given here. No talks, no going to the gardens, no holding hands, just looking at each other as he passed on horseback and as she stood at the window, waiting to see him. She saw him, she was happy. He saw her, he was happy. This was a very simple arrangement they had. Every morning and evening, they could exchange the flowers. This went on. And this is what Laura told him. My friend told me about all these things. And Gonzalo also said, yes, my cousin told me about these things. Gonzalo commented that it was indeed a very sad affair, and he had heard that from his cousin. The sad affair was the affair between the boy and the girl, the lovers. Why it was sad? Let us see why the affair was sad. At this point, Laura was sure that this man was Gonzalo himself, the lover himself. She did not mention it. She did not tell him either, that she was the girl, the lover. So both of them hid the identity. Now she was sure that this old man was Gonzalo, the young lover who passed by her window every morning and tossed flowers which she caught. In the afternoon, he would pass on his horseback, and she would toss flowers to him which he caught. So this went on. One day, he was late. He came in the evening and he just stopped outside the window to hear her singing. The girl sang and he was there listening to her song. In another beautiful situation where you can imagine the lover standing there listening and enjoying the song of his beloved. Suddenly he was surprised. He was surprised by somebody. Now Gonzalo continued the story. Yes, my cousin, that is he himself, was surprised by the merchant. A merchant was, there was a plan to marry the silver maiden to a merchant, local merchant. The parents had decided that. And that man came there and he found Gonzalo standing and listening to the song. There was a quarrel. There was an argument. And of course, a big fight. Then Gonzalo said there was a duel. This woman, Laura, also said, yes, I know about that duel because my friend told me. It was a duel. Now, students, what is a duel? A duel is a fight between two people who have an argument. Who have an argument. This practice was prevalent in the medieval European countries. Medieval, that is, the Middle Ages. Now we have, in history, we have divisions. We have ancient times, ancient history. Then we have middle history, that is medieval, that is medieval history. Then we have modern history. So we can safely say that around 4th century AD or 5th century, we can call it, up to that time it was ancient. From that time to 15th century, we can say it was medieval. After that, it is modern history or modern times. So during the medieval ages, the practice was there, the practice of duel. When two people had an argument, the only way to settle it was they fought together, one to one. There was no one else, there was no interference. They fought each other, and the one who won, he won the argument or the case. This was the practice in medieval Europe. So there was a fight between the lover and the merchant. They fought for the girl's hand, the silver maiden's hand. And in a duel, they select a place, they agree on a place, both the opponents come, they fight, there is no interference from anyone else. Usually, it is done in isolation. So, this duel took place on the seashore. On the seashore. And they agree that they have heard from, she heard from her friend, and he heard from his cousin, that the lover wounded the merchant. When the merchant fell, he was in confusion. Thinking the merchant was dead, the lover ran away. He left the town. The lover ran away. And he did not contact the silver maiden. That is what the silver maiden said. But Gonzalo told Laura, no, he wrote many letters. The cousin came to my house. He stayed there for some time. He wrote many letters to the silver maiden, the love letters, but there was no answer. So he thought maybe the parents had intercepted the letters. That is what Gonzalo said, that his cousin told him, or cousin came and stayed in his house and he wrote the letters. Laura said, no, your cousin, that is the lover, he cheated my friend. He cheated Laura Laurenti, the silver maiden. He did not write any letters. Maybe there was a misunderstanding. So she waited for him and he also waited for her. Now they start a new set of lies. They tell lies to glorify themselves. Now that they know that this must be the other, he thinks that she could be Laura, she could be the silver maiden, and she thinks that this man could be the lover. And now they start a new set. Why they don't want to reveal each to other? Because they think that we are old now. Gonzalo thinks I am 70 years old, I look ugly. She thinks I am 70 and I look ugly. He says I was a dream, but now, he'll come to know what a dream is when it gets old. So I don't want to reveal it. Both of them hide their identity because of that reason. Because they think that they are old and ugly and they'll not be appreciated by the other. So they hold the truth back. Now Laura tells a very beautiful lie. She says, my friend, the silver maiden, waited for her lover for a long time, but he did not come. He did not send any message. He said, my friend, my cousin who stayed in my house, He wrote many letters, but she did not answer, and he waited for her, and then desperately he joined the army. He joined the army, went to Africa, and there, fighting for Spain, fighting for his country, he died in a battle. He carried the flag of Spain. While holding the flag of Spain, he was killed in the battle. So it was a glorious death. That is what he told her. On the other hand, she also tried to tell a more beautiful lie. She said, her friend, this is a silver maiden, and you know now who the silver maiden is, Laura herself. She said the silver maiden, in desperation for the failure in love, for the lover cheated her, she went to the seashore. There on the seashore, she sat and she wrote the lover's name. She wrote her lover's name on the sand until it was washed away by the waves. The name was washed away. She felt very sad. And then she waited and waited until the waves, the huge waves came and swept her away. The sea took her up inside and she died. See the pathetic death of the lady, how it was described by Laura, and it was a pure lie because Laura was sitting there. And death of this Gonzalo, the lover, was also false because Gonzalo was sitting in front of Donna Laura. And these things continue. You can see the silver maiden as described by Donna. She said her friend waited on the seashore in the evening, waiting for her lover. He did not come, and she wrote his name on the sand. Then, since he did not come or send any message, she sat there waiting until the waves, huge waves of the sea, swept her away, and she died. Now, students, the truth was totally different. The truth was totally different. These two people had lied to each other. There was one more reason why. After the incident, after the duel, within 3 months, the Don Gonzalo, had run away with a ballet dancer. He fell in love with a ballet dancer and they ran away within 3 months. And Laura married after 2 years. Both these people did not mention these things, but he said his cousin died for the country and remembering his lover, muttering her name, holding the flag of Spain in his hand when he died. And she said she wrote his name on the sand and she died there. Both glorified their own deaths, which was not true, which was a huge lie. But both were satisfied. Now I have told about my death. She won't recognize me. She thought, I have told about my death. Now he won't recognize me. But still they had a doubt in their minds. Is it he? Is she? So that was the doubt. Now the story comes to an end. Both of them keep each other in doubt. They don't reveal their own identity and they go home. Before going home, they agree to meet the next day. They met as arrogant people, not liking each other. Now they were friends. And they agreed to meet on the next day. Now, friends, let us just imagine what would happen if they had revealed their identity to each other. How would the story end? Maybe they would make friends again. They would become lovers again. and enjoy the beautiful moments left in their life. What the author wants to tell us is many times we tell lies for simple reasons. We think we value others' opinions more. We think what he will think of me, what she will think of me. See, there is a saying that in love, both should accept each other as they are. Only then they can succeed. Now, the boy acting as if says something and he tells her that he has achieved these things, many things, which is not true. She tells him that she has studied this, that, and many things she tells. She shows him some house which is not hers. He shows her a bike which is not his. All these lies, they try to impress each other. And one day, when it is found out, there will be a lot of difference of opinion. They cannot enjoy the simple joys of life, happinesses. They can't enjoy. This is what we all do. We hide certain things, we don't reveal certain things, and we lose a lot of joy in life. This is what the author wants to say, and he also wants to explain, how these two people behaved. And please now read the text and please understand the story in detail so that you can answer all the questions from this literary piece, A Sunny Morning. Thank you. Thank you very much.